Hello and welcome back to Sarah's Spare Corner. My name is Sarah. I am the host of Sarah's Spare Corner. Sarah's Spare Corner encompasses gaming, of course, as well as arts, crafts, and various different forms of creativity. Additionally, I like sharing theories, concepts, and ideas as I am a philosophy major. And when I am not poor, which is not right now, I might travel places and I might post about it somewhere. Welcome back to your local NSWER. And hello there, Oz Trekking 31. Welcome to the chat. It's nice to see some new faces in the chat. Before we immediately get into probably, I don't even know how bad this game is, but I've heard that it's worse than the other ones. I thought it would be nice to do a little bit of like a history lesson on the Philips CDI since, I guess that I said I was going to do it on the first stream, but I didn't. So we're going to review some articles quickly that talks about the history of the Philips CDI, because we're probably never going to play with the CDI ever again, because it is questionable. So I'm going to switch this over to a screen so that you can see what I'm looking at. There we go. I think the microphone should work. Sorry, I realized that I made this like new scene and I didn't have my microphone hooked up to it. Okay, so we're going to look at the history of the Philips CDI, failed PlayStation ancestor. This was written in March 25th, 2016, which is written by Eric Groundenheiser. I'm not sure. But it talks about how it has Mario and Zelda and movies on the CDI. And apparently everything went wrong. So here it talks about how instead of kickstarting the trend of the CDI-based game, the CDI turned into one of the greatest failures of video game history industry, reporting costing Philips near $1 billion by the time it was discontinued, which, yikes. But Philips, stood strong. I mean, these computer screens I'm using right now are Philips. Nonetheless, it did end up fostering some amazing idiosyncratic and wildly veiled pieces of video game history. The history or the origins can trace back to the mid-1980s, which is going to take us to an article, so we're not going to touch that. In the 1986, the Dutch technology Philips company Philips and Japanese electronics giant Sony joined together to develop an extension of their previous commodified compact disc format. The new version would provide an interactive experience to users, including not just music and text, but programmable data that could produce graphics and videos, which is why in the last two CDI games that we played, which was the Wands of Gammon and the Faces of Evil, there were those like really cheaply made cut screens, which is interesting because I say cheap, but I feel like at the time they probably put a lot of money in that, and it just wasn't time for it, clearly. But the CDI discs. So this is what it looked like. And you can buy these on eBay. I was actually curious when I was looking into finding a way to play this for stream. There are people who sell these on eBay, but keep in mind it may be broken. So when I'm not telling people to buy them, but if you're like interested because you're a collector person and you don't really care if it fixes, or maybe you want to fix it on your own, you can buy them, but they're very expensive. I think the cost comes to like $250 US. But it might cost a little bit more. And and we're going to go back to the article. The new format opened the door to a number of new media uses for medium, including creating games. The controller kind of looked like this, which is a really interesting choice for the thumb pad. But it also came with like this thing right here. So it would be like a remote, which I think this is what you used for the majority of the video games you're playing. So it almost looked like a TV remote, but it wasn't. Which is why, like, when I played the last two rounds where we played the Wands of Gammon and the Faces of Evil, there were only two buttons on the keyboard that would work, because if you were playing this on the actual CDI, you would have this button right here, and then you'd have this button, and that's it. So from its inception, the format was technically owned by Philips, and anyone wanted to create a machine capable of employing the CDI encoding method needed license privilege from the company. By the 1990s, Philips was selling kits to developers to start promoting and building up interest in the format, and one of the interested companies turned out to be none other than Japanese video game company Nintendo. And at the time, the cartridge-based Super Nintendo console, along with the Sega Genesis, was the king of home game videos. But the industry was moving to CDIs as the preferred format. Near the end of the 1980s, Nintendo entered a deal with Philips and Sony to create CDI-based add-on to Super Nintendo, which ironically would have been called the PlayStation. Actually, that is funny. I didn't even know that. Unfortunately, the Super NES CD never came to be, while Sega released the Mega CD and add-on to Genesis on 1991 using a different technology than the CDI. Nintendo decided to break off its deal with both Sony, which would be working on the hardware, and Philips, which provided the CDI format. However, Sony and Philips had already invested the development of the CDI consoles, and in 1991, the first Philips CDI machine aimed at consumers hit the shelves. So do you imagine, because the games that we played, the Wands of Gammon, was made 1993, which is the year I was born, so that's 31 years ago. Can you imagine being one of the parents and being like, my kids asked for this weird new console, let's go out and buy it? Like, you know, I mean, to be fair, like, you know, that's not strange, but like, imagine like 30 years from now, right? And then you look back at that moment in the 90s and you're like, that was awful. Anyway, I shouldn't roast it too much. There's things made now. Unlike the gaming-focused console that Nintendo and Sega were marketing, the Philips CDI positioned itself as its first all-around multimedia platform. Sure, there were games, but the machine could also use the interactive learning platform via educational CDIs, play your standard music CDs, and display photos on your TV screen, and even full-length films once you purchase the optional digital video cartridge. So I guess it was kind of like you could use it for everything, which I feel like that's what Nintendo's trying to do now. But like Nintendo's kind of like, I don't know. I mean, a lot of consoles do that. It's not that strange. Like the original Xbox even had, you could download CDs to the Xbox. So, but I guess this was like the first of its kind that they decided to actually make it available so that you could listen to CDs through it. So that is kind of unique, and that is something that stayed with technology. But it's interesting that it was the first to do this. So whether Philips liked it or not, the CDI would come to the best remembered not for its format or well-rounded interactive uses, but for some of the strange games. All said, 150 games would be released for the CDI, including titles like the classic horror puzzler, The Seventh Guest, and Dragon's Lair successor, Brain Dead 13. Brain Dead 13. What a fun name. I guess this is one of the games here. This is Hotel Mario, right? I saw someone playing this online, and I'm like, that looks like 7 hours of hell. Because it's basically just this, but like, no, each room is like a different color. Like, it's the same thing over and over again, basically. But, so it'd be like Hotel Hell Mario, really, it should be called. But the console is best remembered for its games that came as the result of the broken deal between Philips and Nintendo. While Nintendo doesn't want Philips' help making the machine, Philips was contractually still able to create games using Nintendo's most inedible characters, and they used them to create some of the worst games in video game history. So obviously you can look these up on YouTube. I'm not going to because I have no desire to play Hotel Mario because yikes. While the gameplay wasn't completely outside of the purpose of Mario, the off-model animated cutscenes were surprisingly shoddy. Yes, they're pretty bad. 3 games also created using the Legend of Zelda characters. Link: The Faces of Evil, which we played the first week. Zelda Wand of Gamelon, which is the second week, and then this one we're playing today, which is Zelda's Adventure, which this one, This one was made in 1994. So these two were both Nintendo, made in 1993. But Zelda's Adventure was made in 1994 by a third-party company, which I did hear about because, like, I was looking online about this one. It looks terrible. It's so bad. This one, I looked up pictures on it, and I honestly thought that this was a Flash game before Flash games on the internet were cool. Like, this one's gonna be a ride. I did read a comment somewhere about this particular game, and I don't know if it's accurate, but I read a comment somewhere on a video about it, and it said that apparently the company that made Zelda's Adventure, they were so poor. Now, again, allegedly, because I don't know for a fact that this is true. I just read a comment about it, but they were so poor that they had their receptionist voice Zelda in the game. Like, that's how poor they were. So, you know, brave of you to do that. But anyways, none of the games had anything to do with the Nintendo originals other than the characters in the world, and they stood out for their cutscenes. The first two games were notable for their jerky, Russian-sourced animation scenes, while the third treated players to some spectacular, awkward live-action video sequences. The gameplay was flat and difficult to control, doing nothing for the CDI's reputation as a gaming machine. Whether it was confusingly broad in the way the system was marketed, the hefty price tag, the machine cost $1,000 in 1992? Oh my gosh! And that, like, with inflation, that was a lot of money. That's interesting. Because, like, how much would $1,000 would have been in 1992? So let me just, like, quickly, I'm just going to switch over, like, 1 second. But I need to know, inflation, from 90s to now. Okay, so the dollar had averaged inflation rate of 2.63 per year between 1990 and today, producing an accumulative price of an increase of 141.52%. That means that today's prices were 2.42 times as higher as the average price since the 1990s, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics Consumer Price Index. So there's an inflation calculator. I'm going to quickly just use this because I'm very curious how much that would have cost. So start year, how much that would have been. So the value, that would be $2,415.18. So double the price, basically, with a little bit of interest. So now that I know that, imagine, okay, I imagine then the only people who are buying this for their kids on Christmas Day were parents who were rich. That's so much money, though. How much did you buy for? Oh, I didn't buy it. I'm using an emulator, which I don't feel bad about because this is something lost in time. Like, you could purchase this on eBay. So, like, I'm just gonna quickly switch over to this screen again before I go. But if I'm gonna go to eBay and see how much you could buy a CDI for, because I looked it up and some people were actually greatly not suggesting to do this, because if you purchased a CDI, there's no absolute that it would still work when you get it. Like, this is more of a collector's item. So, and keep in mind, this is in the Canadian dollar, so it would be a little bit less in USD. But right now we have one selling for $342 Canadian and $25 shipping. We have a cartridge for one of the games, or for the CDI, and it's $42.15. Another CDI is being sold for $525. There's a bunch of games being sold as well. And then there's also one CDI being sold for $194 Canadian. But keep in mind that this is, it's not certain. I'm going to ignore that. I'm not reading that out loud. But there was something I found questionable on here, and it's for the CDI. But 2000 to 400, well, that's the thing, right? Is this was the worst business decision ever for some reason, because it was supposed to be a big deal. People were supposed to, like, want this, and nobody wanted this. But it is crazy that when it came out, it was over $2,000. You could buy a nice camera with that kind of money these days, right? And most of the time that comes out of like for business purposes. Like a really nice camera you'd spend that much money for. I wouldn't say I'd ever spend that much on a gaming console. Like, I guess the appeal was that it wasn't just a gaming console, it was also for DVDs, or I guess like movies if you got the extension pack, which it looks like you had to purchase. But you also got like the ability to listen to music through it and stuff like that. So I guess and also put pictures on there. So I guess it was supposed to be like definitely a rich person item, but like, I mean, to be fair, rich to me is very relative. Anybody who can actually pay rent is rich to me. But that is interesting that was a thing. So $1,000 in 1992. That's crazy. All right. So it's near obsolete in the face of ever evolving CD technology. The CDI was a flop upon release. Oh, in 1994, the machine was redesigned to look like a standard video game console, and the market was changed accordingly, but it was too late. Sony released its far superior PlayStation console in 1994, which continues to see the iterations today. By 1996, the CDI was discontinued altogether, having supposedly sold only 570,000 units. Today, the CDI and its games are regularly remembered as some of the worst video game productions ever released. In reality, the machine just reached too far too early. But without the CDI, we'd have never gotten this baffling, sinister science fiction infomercial about the product. That's interesting. If the games weren't bad, it probably would have been... Yeah, I suppose so. Okay. So that was interesting. I think we're done doing some research on this. Now we can actually play that. That is crazy to me, though. So let's actually play the CDI now. I'm just going to open some stuff up. So let's see. I think it's content. Oops. No, I have to press this button. Oh my gosh. I can't believe they spent... Like, nothing went right for this console. I still think it's funny that they had Nintendo games released for this. Like, that's... Okay, go back. This isn't right. Oh, here we go. I think it's in library. Morticia! She's sitting next to me. You can't see it, though. But she's right here looking at the computer screen as I'm switching over. Was it this? No. Oh, here we go. Games. Zelda's Adventure. Okay. This is from Europe, too, I think. Okay, I'm just gonna... No. Here we go. Okay, so it looks like it's open up. I'm just gonna... There we go. Make sure that it actually works. Okay, so... Oh, look, it's already there. Okay, perfect. We can just switch over. All right. So the only buttons that work, if I remember correctly, are Y and V, I think. Well, it's Y for sure. Okay. Oh, gosh. That made me jump. Okay, hold on. I'm going to press pause for a second just to turn down the sound, because I feel like if I don't turn it down, it's going to be yelling in a couple of seconds, and that won't be fun. So hopefully, let me know immediately if this is too loud. Okay. Oh my gosh. So old. The following experience is presented in Sekiro? Sekiro? The volume is fine. Okay, thank you. You gonna sit with me more, Tish? Is that where Zelda's tower is?
There will be no more viewing tonight.
Oh my god.
The scroll of Shermac, bearer of sad news these many years ago.
Has stolen the treasure, celestial signs, and captured Link. Make haste.
It was that Ganon, Lord of Darkness, had taken over Ptolemac.
Ptolemac?
Stolen the treasured celestial signs and captured Link. A brave warrior would have to be found to face this evil monster. And so I found this champion of strength and courage. It is you, Princess Zelda. With this magic pendant, go forth, and with each sign you gather, so too will you gain knowledge. Find your magic wand, use it wisely, and listen to your allies along the way. Go now, my princess, restore the celestial signs and rescue Link.
Please wait. Okay. All right. Yes. So we are going to. Oh, Morticia. Jeez. Okay. Y. U. T. T. Yes. Is it T? Okay. Maybe we have to select. Okay. Can we create? There we go. Oh boy. Okay, well, we're gonna write our name as Zelda, because who else would we be? Oof. Can I just go over here? There we go. Morticia. Okay, great. Let's play then. Tell me this doesn't look like a Flash game. Like, Flash games before they were Flash games, you know? Where'd I go? Oh, there we go. Wait, what just happened there? Okay. Does that mean I can use that? How does this work? Okay. Well, look at that. It looks like a wand. All right, let's go this way. Ooh. Oh, God. It's awful. Ew, I'm stuck in a sign. No! Are you kidding me? I think we have to go pick up that sword again. That's stupid. Oh, never mind. It's already in our hands. Wait, I didn't mean to go... Okay, we went down. Can we go through here? We can. Ooh. Oh, God. What is this? What the heck? I died instantly. Oh, wait, no. I guess I moved. Ooh. Did Phillips hate people and joy? Every game is so hard for no reason.
I am Shermack, your guide. I have known you since you were a child. You were given a difficult challenge. You would have to go far and overcome great danger. Stay calm and use your knowledge and strength to defeat your enemies. Remember what you learned along the way and persevere. Go now to the one who has a bed but never sleeps, where by its side the red willow weeps, and to its mouth.
I hate riddles. Go now to the bed who sleeps, but doesn't sleep. Oh. Is these Lionels? What are these? At least they give hearts. The other game, it's like impossible. Ooh. Oh, he dropped his boomerang. Nice. Now I've picked up a boomerang. 'Tis mine! Yeah, that's a rocket. That's what I thought. I was like, it's kind of hard to see with some of these graphics, so I didn't know if that was like something else. Okay, let's go find the one who sleeps but never rises, or whatever they said. Vampires? I don't know. Money! 10 rupees don't look like that. That's a lie. Should have gave me hearts instead. Ew. What? No! Ah. Dead people? No idea. Yeah, I know. Do I at least have the boomerang still? Yeah, they didn't take that away from me, which is nice. How am I supposed to use that, though? Or did I not do this right? There we go. And then... What the heck? It uses rupees? Oh, forget that. We're not doing that. Ew. I hate the idea of using money. Every Zelda gamer hates that. This place looks disgusting. Like, why would you want to protect this? Oof. How are you also supposed to protect yourself? You can't even dodge. Oh, it's like, where did I go? I went down accidentally. Oh. Can I go swimming? No, I can't go swimming. Ew, I can't go higher either. Ooh, oh gosh, I need to get that heart. No! Got the heart and died instantly. I think we should go directly up, because I think that's where we were. Okay, I was wrong. I wasn't directly up. Maybe I'm kind of in the area? This game is so much fun. I love every minute of it. Imagine... Okay, here's the thing. Imagine spending that much money, okay? On the CDI in the 90s and then getting games like this. I wonder how many refunds they got. Oh. Oh. Honestly, we could probably skip this section. There's nothing here. So we just go next. We just dodge. Oh, I went down again. Stop scrolling screens so easily. At least I'm getting money. Like, I keep dying, but, you know, I keep all the money in my pocket from when I died. So, you know, there's that. Ooh. Okay, I was like, I died. No. Oh, no. Oh, no. No, no. Let's go up. Let's pass the river. Can we? I don't even think we can pass the river, so we have to get to the other side. Let's... Ooh. No, I don't want to die. I can't just cross, no. That's what I thought. I was like, I can't. There must be a bridge nearby. Morticia. Ooh. Almost died there. There's a house. How do I give you money? Okay.
Welcome to the Moblins Head Inn, my princess. You look dry. Have a cup of and or cider in the house. I have a spell of calm to sell, but it will cost you 100 rubies.
Oh. Interesting choice of music. All right, let's talk to some of these dudes in here.
You look like an honest maid. Sit a moment. It is said those who go deep into the earth learn to overcome the sins of grief. That may be true, but I do know this. A candle and a silver key can bring you bliss. Hurry on now, lass. Time's a-wasting.
Times. Did you hear that voice crack? I know I'm being mean a little.
Why spend a whole lifetime being defeated like me? Get it over with. Quick. Go home. Give up. You're patient. I can see you're not one to surrender. All right, take this dagger from me. It may do you more service than it ever did me.
Cool? Okay. And then we'll talk to this person.
I'm so exhausted from my travels. If only I'd known to cross the chasm rift with the ladder, it would have saved me months.
Jail, no. Torture, no. CDI, yes. All right, I'm stuck for a second. All right, hold on. What does this say? I need the 100 rupees. Can we talk to this guy? No. Can we go in the fire? It should burn me. That would be fun. Okay, well, I guess we'll come back when I have 100 rupees. Like, if I care enough. I will allow myself 2 more deaths. And if I die, like, on the second one, like, whatever that is, then we're going to switch to a different game, which is Planet Zoo, because I would much rather be playing that right now. But, like, I wanted to really just, like, look at this. Oh, gosh. No, 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 no! Are you kidding me? Oh, no. You know what what this means, because the game didn't save. We'd have to watch through that cutscene. We'd have to go do all that nonsense all over again. As I'm showing you my screen on screen. Okay, we're getting rid of that quickly. I'm gonna edit that out later in my videos, so nobody just saw my entire computer desktop, which is nonsense basically. But we're gonna switch over. So we're gonna do that now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to Sarah, no, walking into fire. We talked about this. So what I'm going to do, to make this a little bit easier, because it's not going to work if I just switch over. So here's the thing. On YouTube, you have to be specific with what you're actually recording and stuff like that. You can't just switch things midstream to like something entirely different when that's not in the title and the thumbnail and whatever. And even then, like if you switch it up, people just don't like that so much. Twitch, it doesn't matter so much. So I'm going to quickly end this stream on both files. I'm on both Twitch and YouTube, I should say. And then I'm going to start a new stream like immediately. I've already have the thumbnail and everything ready to go. So you can see me in like a couple of seconds. And we're going to play Planet Zoo. So I'll be back in like 2 seconds. If you're watching this at a different time and you want to see some of my other content, you can definitely see that on my YouTube channel, which you will find the VODs there if you're from Twitch, because I think the VODs kind of delete themselves on Twitch after time. But YouTube, you can find that there. Additionally, if you want to see some of my other videos, you can find a ton of other options through my live tab and as well as my video tab. But for now, I'm going to peace out. And for those who are watching the stream right now, just wait a couple of seconds and I'm going to restart another stream.